You know XXXTentacion?
The rapper that died in like 2018?
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Don't you
What
think
about
his
him?
death was kind of like staged?
It does kind of seem off.
Like, think of like the evidence and stuff. There's so much stuff and people that believe that it was staged, you know. Might as well dig into it.
Might as well.
So, like, why do you think it was staged?
So, you know how like he was with his friend Leonard?
Oh yeah, him.
So you saw like that footage like of like
Yeah, of
they
like the
have
shooting.
murder.
Oh yeah.
If you really look at it, the murderers didn't shoot Leonard when he ran.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh. Wait, so they didn't shoot at him?
they didn't shoot at him. They just let him run away. The one guy had his gun pointed towards him, but didn't shoot at him.
Huh. I mean, there's always a possibility that he was just, like didn't have the duffel bag, but then again, he was a witness, you know.
Exactly.
So, that's weird. Okay. Also, what about did you know like his sister, right?
Yeah.
They were banned from seeing the grave.
Really?
Yeah, they were banned from seeing the grave because they said they made like a thing of like saying of how they think that the death was staged, and that's why I think they were banned, because like it's his sister. Of all people to be banned, I would not think it would be them.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, and also not to mention the fact that like XXX. Okay, here's the thing, you know Juice World as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the song Jason Flores, you reverse it, you can hear 2 minutes and 43 seconds. You can hear him say December the 7th. And there's a lot of other things. I'm not going to go deep into detail with that. Like there's a bunch of other things, but like you can hear him say December the 7th. That was right before Juice died as well, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Another thing with Juice is in his like in his song it said the doctor said I'll be dead by next June if I don't stop all these pills I'm into. Wait, hold up. Juice or XXX died in June. Now, I know it wasn't because of pills, but still, don't you think the fact that he, and they were really close. So,
True.
yeah, they were like really close. They made like a bunch of songs, and even before also, this isn't very important, but the thing is they played League of Legends together, and that day, like right before at 6 a.m., when X went to go buy the motorcycle, he played League of Legends, right? Like 30 minutes of League of Legends, right before he went to go buy the motorbike.
You're right.
So, like, with all that evidence, do you think it's enough to say that it was staged, or do you think we need a bit more?
There's one more thing I'd like to say.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching this interview with XXX's sister,
Mm-hmm.
and she says that there's no way that someone random just knew where he was going to be at the exact time, which is why she thinks that there is someone else that was involved with it.
Mm-hmm. That makes
And
sense.
and stating back to when I said Leonard didn't get shot at,
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
if you think about it, he could have been the inner guy. He could have been the one, like, telling them when. Because he was with XXX at the time of the murder.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. I mean, also, one of the guy, it was like, I think, like Darren Williams. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tattoo artist. Now, go into Google and you'll see no results of who gave XXX his tattoos. But being a tattoo artist, and he had to have some kind of inside connection with X, because there's no way that he pulls up to motorbike and he knows the fact that there's going to be like the 50 grand in the duffel bag. How does he know that? He has to have some kind of inside connections, right? What if
You're
Leonard,
right.
you know Leonard, his friend, right? XXX's friend?
Yeah.
When he ran out of the car, Darren was the one who pointed the gun at him but didn't shoot. He just went right back to trying to take the bag from X. Now, when you put that together, don't you kind of seem like, what if he was a snitch and trying to get something to do with it without getting any of the, or with like something to do, he gets some of the money and, you know, in return for snitching. I mean, you never know, but kind of seems very, very odd, the fact that they both were there and didn't shoot at him. Like, he didn't get shot, he just ran. And the fact that, mind you, we don't know anything else really about Leonard other than that he was X's friend, he was there. You know, we can't see anything else in that other than in the helping hand video that he was there. But other than that, we don't have any really insight on him. So, huge possibility that it was all set up.
You're right.
And some say that X is still alive, but I don't really think it's to go deep on detail with that. He kind of got shot and it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Also, not to mention the fact that X didn't really... He said no when giving the duffel bag, which very X-like thing to do. But he wasn't very resistant, because when you watch the video, go replay, watch the video, and you can see that there wasn't any, like, pulling of them trying to grab it. He just said no, and they kept, like, it looked like almost arguing. Now, there was no audio to it, but it almost looked like arguing between them instead of them trying to grab it. So it kind of looked more staged.
You're right.
Not to mention, X got shot in the neck. Like, okay, you're aiming for somebody? Are you really gonna go for the neck? That was the least vulnerable spot, because he can move his neck. What about, like, I don't know, his waist or torso? Anywhere else that he can't move because he's buckled in?
That makes sense.
There's a lot of evidence that kind of seems like X just staged his death. What if... Or that X's death was staged. But what if he staged it? He staged it in all. Because all of his songs talking about... Also, in Falling Down, you can also hear him saying, like, of how, like, when people die, you start to check them out by remorse. That was one of his last collabs. And with Little Peep after his death, also, you know how he would do, like, the check-in thing? Like, every now and then he would just check in on people. Like, he made a couple of those videos.
Mm-hmm.
He did, like, a couple of, or little before, he did make a video of, like, him, like, checking on everyone. Like, or, like, you know, checking on something like that, like. And it seemed more, like, put into, you know? That just seems kind of off.
True. When I was doing some research about, like, stuff, like, behind it, X went to the bank and got $50,000 in cash.
Mm-hmm.
And he put it in the duffel bag.
Yep.
But at that moment, he was with his step-uncle.
Step-uncle? Okay.
Which I don't know if that seems a little off. But...
Wait, why wasn't his step-uncle there with him, like, during, when he went to go buy it?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think that's a little off. Why was it Leonard with him? Why was it not a step-uncle?
Fair. okay, Leonard had. What if? Hear me out. Leonard has connections with the step-uncle. Step-uncle has connections with the shooters. Because it's small town. It's like small town in Florida. Wouldn't you think everyone, now, mind you, I don't know anything, like, much about detail of the town or anything, but wouldn't you think if people had connections or ties or really anything at all, don't you think that it would be, you know, a little more self-centered if something was going to be like that, if it was not staged? Like, it would be
You
more
got a
centered
point.
up instead
You
of,
really got a
because it's kind of like a big circle of X. And I'm still kind of stuck on the fact that his sister wasn't allowed. Because, like, think of it. It's his own sister. His sister has to know something that the public doesn't.
like again. I stated like that. She said in the interview. She thinks it had to be someone close to X that knew that he was going to buy that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So if, let's say if she knew something and she probably promised to keep secret, let's say, I don't know this and I have no evidence of this. I'm just kind of using common sense to roll along with it.
Mm-hmm.
If, okay, she was told to keep secret, but she wants something out of the people who had the alleged shooting. And if she wasn't allowed at said funeral, it was held by meaning it had to be held by somebody who had to do something with the X shooting. Unless, here's the juicy part, X staged himself to die.
But why would he?
That's the thing. Think of it like this. When really any celebrity, like big celebrity like that, Juice WRLD for example, why would he, this will be in a completely different video, but why would he just like panic and do something like that? It was to stage his own death. Again, don't know. This is all a theory. So, why would you think that he wouldn't stage his death? It's the same reason. We don't know. We don't know why he would, but again, we don't know why he would not. He had a pretty big following and all. But what if he had he had ties with somebody, made a deal, and now couldn't go back, and that's what he lost? We don't know. But, again, it's all a possibility.
Speaking of how he might have faked his own death, or like staged it, and I did read or like see something about how X would not go anywhere without anybody because of all those enemies that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, like he went to prison and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why, and he never went alone anywhere.
Yeah, but the one time he went with somebody, right? He went with Leonard. Leonard turned on him. Why would he go with Leonard? And okay, let's assume he trusts Leonard to go have 50 grand in his hand and go buy something that's, worth that much. But he would have to know Leonard, to something like that. And if, let's say he didn't, then it means it's staged. But then again, he couldn't have trusted him because Leonard turned on him, right? So it kind of makes you think, okay, well, it's just a big loop. Then again, what if X staged his death? That answers the questions blatantly,
Yeah.
But we don't know why he would stage his death, but we have no evidence to prove that he wouldn't. He mentioned in his songs that he was suicidal. So why wouldn't he go through something with that? You know, we never know.
And hasn't there been connections between, like, the dates that X and Juice have had in their songs
Mm-hmm.
connecting back to one another?
Yeah.
I just find that very odd, and, like, the day before that X died, or
Mm-hmm.
Juice died, it's just, like, very off to me.
Mm-hmm. Also,
And then again,
go ahead.
Leonard being there, not getting shot at, just running away, doesn't make sense to me when he's an eyewitness that was there and experienced that moment.
Mm-hmm. And Leonard had nothing to do with any of the, like, he didn't, like, witness anything in court. He didn't, like, anything like that. No, he didn't go to like, anything like that. Nothing. With any of the, like, because, all right, the shooting happened. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't there for, like, a witness at all. He had basically nothing to do with it other than being there. So, what if it was all a setup? Everyone knew about it, so people could get out of said, you know, yes, they're in prison, but that doesn't mean that said government, county, whatever it is, they definitely didn't have any insight on this. So, what are they getting out of this that's worth so much for them going to prison? Because think of, like, don't like to word it this way, think of basically any killer. They're getting something out of it, right? Not only are they getting 50 grand, would you spend the what? How much? What was his sentence again? Was it a life sentence? I don't know.
I can't remember.
I can't remember, but whatever it is, he must be getting something big. So we know it's at least 5 years, because, like, what? 3rd degree murder?
My second degree.
2nd degree, okay. Still, we know for a fact that, so what, that's what, 10 years? Yeah, it's like, what, like, at least 10 years. Is it worth 10 years? And what is he getting out of this? Like, what can anyone possibly get out of this? Because X didn't have, like, an extremely large net worth that they could be possibly inheriting from, like, ties or anything like that, or any connections. He didn't have, like, an extremely large net worth or anything to inherit. It's not like he even got the chance to buy the bike. So it's not like they're getting that. Yes, he did have a BMW and, like, nice cars and stuff like that. But was it really worth the 10 years? Was it really?
You really got a point.
And that's spread across 4 people. So what? That would be 12. They each get $12,500. Assuming that they're splitting it, not one's only taking it. Because there's 4 people. So,
Mm-hmm.
them splitting that, they're getting something huge out of it. So, we might never know, but this is just conspiracies. We will see you guys in the next one.